In November, I did over $25,600 in sales as a solo full-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark. And today I'm gonna show you all of the items that sold for $40 plus shipping or more so that you know what to pick up when you're out at the thrift store, garage sale, flea market, or even sourcing online from your home. Make sure you buckle in. I'm gonna be going in depth on each of these items, explaining why I picked it up, where I picked it up, how much I paid, why I accepted an offer. Any detail that I can give you about each item, I'm going to share, so this can be as informative as possible. So now I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of the numbers and then we'll get into the items. So as you can see here, this is for November 1st through November 30th, and we did $20,443 in sales on eBay, and that was for 509 items. Now you can see that this quantity is up by about 20%. It's because I was liquidating some of my older inventory that's just not any good. Or maybe there were items that were seasonal that are now out of season. I don't really want to be holding them for an entire year. And because of that, you can see my sales price is down 6.3% at $40.16. But honestly, I'm still really happy with that considering the amount of items that I was liquidating at a very low cost. Now jumping over to Poshmark, you can see on this November column, we did $5,178 in sales, and that was for 150 items. So both those platforms combined, that was $25,621 in sales for 659 items. Now selling 659 items in 1 month is really good, and especially for me, I only have about 1,200 items in my store currently, which means I sold over half of my store in just 1 month between eBay and Poshmark. So now the foundation has been set, let's jump into these items that you should be picking up when you're outsourcing. All right, here we have some Doc Martens. These sold for $67, and on Poshmark, everything is buyer paid shipping. I probably could have held out for a little bit more for these on eBay, but I was happy to accept an offer of 67 bucks. I only paid 30 bucks for these doing retail arbitrage last week. So this was a really quick flip. I had money back in my hand. And the nice thing about accepting an offer on Poshmark is as long as your listing is correct, there's really no returns on Poshmark. So especially for retail arbitrage finds where you are paying up and the margins are a lot lower, I'm always happy to accept an offer on Poshmark where I know it's not going to be returned. Here we have an Eddie Bauer jacket. This is a very thick, heavyweight winter jacket. It's a longer length and it does have a hood. So that's why I think that it kind of classifies as a parka, and that's a really good keyword for better outerwear. It is down-filled and it is part of the Weather Edge line. If you've watched my channels, you know that's the line that I'm looking for in Eddie Bauer because it's waterproof. So that's another selling factor for this jacket. Here we have a little bit of a banger. Jacket sale. This brand is Obermeyer. This was the Charger model. I found that on one of the tags. A couple quick things here. This little Reco logo, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that is a feature that's on really high-end jackets. If you see that on a jacket, you're gonna want to be looking that up. And also it had this little water droplet 2020 thing, which I'm guessing is some sort of waterproof system that this brand has. So this is telling me that this is a really high-end jacket from this brand. And here's a picture of the tag and the logo, so you can be on the lookout for it too. 'Tis the season to sell some Carhartt jackets. This one sold really quick for 65. I did have to pay 25 bucks for this, so I didn't make the most money on it, but unfortunately it just isn't a super desirable model, but still a really good seller, especially if you have lower priced thrift stores than I do. I had to pay 25. If you're picking this up for 10 bucks or less, still a great flip. And down here on the sleeve it says Quick Duck. If this were to say Rain Defender, that's one of the waterproof lines, that one would be worth even more. So just something to be on the lookout for. Okay, here's a unique one for the list. This is a lot of 4 golf polos. This brand is Donald Ross, not a great brand, but all these were size 2XL and all of them were very vibrant, colorful prints. So when I saw this, I was thinking, that's a pretty good size for men's polos. Geometric and these bright colors are the best sellers. So can I lot these up and turn this into one nice flip? And that's exactly what happened. Lotting up less expensive items is a good way to maximize your profits because you're only paying shipping once, you're only paying fees once, and it also saves you a little bit of time because you're not doing individual listings where you're making maybe 5 to 10 bucks on each listing, where instead on just one listing and one-time shipping, I was able to make my $30 profit and be on with my day. Next item is a Brooks Brothers sweater that's new with tags. Honestly, if you see anything Brooks Brothers new with tags, definitely be looking this up. This had a $198 retail price. I'm not sure why it was so high because it was just cotton. If this was a better material like cashmere or wool, probably could have been worth well over $51, but I'm not going to complain about a $51 sale. Here we have another new with tags item, this Orvis vest. Sold for 72 bucks. You can see the little tag here, and it actually had the model name right there, so I was able to transfer all that into my title. They were only selling for like 50 bucks or so, but I didn't see many listed in new condition, so I kind of listed high at 80, and it sold on an automatic offer, 10% off, down to 72. Orvis, a little bit of an underrated brand when it comes to winter items, in my opinion. Here we have another kind of random sale here. I found this at the thrift store in the wrong section. It just looked old, so I started looking into it. When I looked into it, I was very surprised by the comps. The brand is Kickware. This just looked like a super old tag to me. Just looked it up on a hunch, and that's why sometimes you just got to trust your instincts as a reseller. Ended up being a really good jacket. There's some other vintage Kickware jackets that sell for way more than this. But yeah, I'm super happy with this one and glad I trusted my instincts. Before I get to the rest of the items, I do want to give a shout out to the software Posher. I had quit cross-listing completely due to so many errors and difficulties using cross-listing softwares in the past, but Posher has eliminated all my headaches when it comes to cross-listing, and that's what got me back into cross-listing. And as you guys saw in the numbers, that resulted in an extra $5,000 in sales. And over the entire month, I probably have less than 2 or 3 hours into cross-listing for the entire month. So that's a very good return on investment for my time using Posher to cross-list. I'm honestly not pitching the product just to make some money. I just genuinely think that it would help people out that want to cross-list because the software works so well. Another thing I love about it is it does all of the social media stuff on Poshmark for you, because I'm not really into doing that. I don't have the time to do that. If I had to do it myself, I would not be getting as many sales on Poshmark, and they just make it super easy all in one place. The code's Caleb sells for a discount, or you can use the link in the description below, but I can't recommend it enough. Okay, here we have another retail arbitrage find. Picked these up at the same sale as the Doc Martens. I paid 27 bucks for this. Sold for 72, which I'm super happy with. And once again, I love selling retail arbitrage flips fast on Poshmark because they can't be returned. This is another brand that really comes alive in the winter. The brand is Mountain Hardwear. These are the Dry Q pants. One thing I really like is that it says Dry Q right here on the tag, so there's really no guessing with what you have here. This is one of their waterproof lines that's really high quality. Here we have a vintage snapback hat from the Houston Oilers. This is from my vintage hat haul I had this summer with my friend at a garage sale. We found a bin of banger vintage snapbacks, and this is just one of the stragglers, a little bit of a slower seller, but I think we paid 40 bucks for the entire bin, so yeah, really can't complain about another sale from that. Another Brooks Brothers item makes the list. This is a 100% wool overcoat. I saw that it said made in England on the tag, and that's what kind of alerted me to look into it a little bit more, and turns out this particular style made in England was selling really well. There were even some holes in the shoulder. I know you can't really see it very well in this picture, but there were a couple of small holes there. And going back to the no returns on Poshmark, when I got an $80 offer, I was excited to accept it on Poshmark because I knew, because I photographed those holes, that they couldn't return it for that problem. I made a short video about picking up this jacket. I think I paid 25% off of $75 for this. So not huge margins, but still a nice profit per item, a quick flip. This thing sold super fast, and I can't say it enough. Love to see these higher end items that are lower margin sell on Poshmark because they can't be returned. This is a down jacket from Lululemon, just a super modern style. If you saw this, you're definitely gonna be picking this up at the thrift store. Here we have a vest from the brand Cotopaxi. They're kind of known for this bold, vibrant, color blocking color scheme here. I did pay 20 bucks for this item, which was kind of a lot. And when I actually was looking at it at the thrift store, I did not know that it was new with tags. I actually found the tag inside after I'd already gotten home. So definitely was gonna be a slimmer margin before I found that it was new. But once it was new, I was super stoked and knew I had a great little flip there. Okay, this has turned into like a little bread and butter of my winter and fall store. I just keep finding these and they keep selling. This is a vintage Abercrombie & Fitch Adirondack jacket. This one actually says that here in the back of the neck. but these are really thick, heavyweight cotton jackets. Sometimes they're canvas, sometimes they're twill like this, and they usually have a Sherpa or fur lining, and Adirondack is the keyword that you want to use there. Okay, we have something a little bit different here. This is a outdoor Christmas decoration. I got this from stacking some coupon codes on biglots.com to get these down way under what Big Lots was selling them for. And then because there was none available online, and when they sell out online and at Big Lots there's none available, I was able to sell this for way over actually the retail price originally started. So I paid 27 bucks for this and sold it for 125. I used to sell a bunch of random stuff and spend all day shipping. So I still try to use those strategies that I learned from before, because these are really high profit items and very easy. But now I know to stick to items that are already pre-boxed, because I just had to slap a label on this. It was under 5 pounds and no additional time went into shipping this than really any other item. And pretty much copy everything I just said for this one as well. This one sold for 119 plus shipping on Poshmark. Here we have a Burton Dry Ride jacket. This is their waterproof line. It also said restricted right here, so I don't know if that added value or not. I don't know if that's just like one of their little taglines, but either way, it sold really well for me. When I saw this, it looked just kind of like a very like skater snowboard style, and had the hood as well, which I do think helps the value. So yeah, my intuition was correct when it came to this item as well, and it sold for way more than I thought. I was hoping for maybe 40-50 bucks, and we got a sale for 75. Here we have a classic, the vintage Polo Ralph Lauren Buy Swing jacket. This is the polyester shell with the cotton plaid lining with the little chin strap here, full zip bomber jacket. I mean, I used to find these all the time. They've come back in style. They're very good flips right now. Buy Swing is the model name. They used to be called the Harrington jacket, but that word can be a Vero on eBay. So I would definitely call it the Buy Swing jacket, because that's what it's called now. All right, here we have a Charles Tyrwhitt blazer. Tyrwhitt? I don't know how you say that. But anyway, when I felt this blazer, it had a little bit different texture to it. So when I looked into it, it was merino wool. So here's what the tag looked like. I wouldn't really call this a bolo, but if you find really any blazer with super elevated materials like merino wool or cashmere or silk or linen, I would just say definitely look it up. Here we have a North Face jacket from the High Vent line. Anytime you see High Vent or Dry Vent on the sleeve, these are one of their nicer models of jackets. You're definitely going to want to be looking it up. What I did was I put this picture on Google Lens. It told me that it was the Celir model. Once I put that in, I was able to get the comps on eBay and ended up selling on Poshmark. Here we have another blazer. This one is from Eddie Bauer. It's actually from the Travex line. That's this little yellow logo here. But this kind of like tactical, techie blazer from Eddie Bauer, I've been selling it for years. It's always been a really good seller for me. It has came down in price a little bit, but honestly 42 bucks, I'm definitely not complaining, especially with how quick they sell. Grunt Style is a Vero brand on eBay, so I would be listing those on Poshmark and other platforms for sure, but they still can be good sellers. I wouldn't really pick up the t-shirts. They're probably saturated and not super valuable anymore, but if you find something substantial from this brand, it still can be good. Obviously, as you see here, this one sold for 45 bucks, and this is the tag. Quilted, puffer, insulated. Those are some of the keywords I was able to use to get this thing sold. No surprise that these Madewell Nuit Tags jeans sold on Poshmark instead of eBay. Madewell Nuit Tags is probably a pretty safe move for Poshmark for sure. Just because of the demographic that's shopping on there. These would have eventually sold on eBay, but probably sold for more and quicker here on Poshmark. These were the low slung straight jeans. And here's a little bit of a close-up of the tag. I mean, Madewell, it's a pretty well-known brand and good seller on Poshmark. Next item are some South Pole baggy jeans. This little logo here, this little tab. Apparently if you have one with a red tab, that one is, the more desirable one. And these weren't even like super wide or anything. So really happy to get 60 bucks, especially because these were cropped up to 28 inches. If you look at the tag, they were tagged 34 by 30, but they measured by 28. And if you looked at the hem, somebody like did that with their sewing machine at their house. So to get 60 bucks, considering all those little factors, yeah, I'm definitely happy about that. Definitely had to include this one as a Cleveland sports fan. We have a vintage Cleveland Indians starter jacket. The Indians apparel is going to keep, maintaining its value and maybe slightly going up in value over time. But what you're really looking for is the starter jackets that have the Chief Wahoo logo. There's normally, I don't know if it's on this side or this side, but those ones would sell for even more. But at a typical thrift price, 15 bucks or less, vintage sports starter jackets are pretty safe bet. Motorcycle riding apparel always sells really well for me. That stuff is really expensive retail, so people are looking to get a deal on it. The tag on this looked like kind of cheapy, so I wasn't, super excited at first. But when I saw this, when it said Road Armor by Skull Riders, then I looked here and saw that this one had armor slots that you could put in armor. I knew this was probably going to be a good flip and looked it up, and that was true. And this one did not even have the armor, so I listed it as no armor and still got it sold for 42 bucks. So I'm sure with the armor, this could have been a way bigger sale. Now this last item, I actually sold two of the exact same item. They are Filson down puffer jackets, one for $184 and one for $175. We'll go full screen here just so you can see the actual item. This thing was super cool with the orange camo down filled. The retail price on this was $295. So these people still paid almost $200 for this jacket. So they were able to get a really good deal off of the retail price, but I actually picked these up for $88 online arbitrage delivered straight to my door. I actually was able to find this item because of a lead that was shared in an online Discord group called Bread and Butter. I've been in the group for a few years now. It's helped me make a lot of money because they share leads to help you find profitable online sales or profitable in-store sales where you can go into the stores and try to find the best deals possible. There's also a bunch of other perks like answering questions and giveaways and all that fun stuff as well, but I really think the true value is from being able to find the sales. I will say it's not for everybody. You do need a little bit of capital to be able to invest into these higher dollar amount flips, but it is nice when you're looking for a new way to scale your business. If you do want to check it out, there's more info in the description down below, and if you use my link, that does help me out and I greatly appreciate it. Now let's get to those eBay sales. First eBay sale with $40 or more. Now these are going to work from the lowest $40 because I'm sorted by the total that they sold for all the way up to my very best sales of the month. So this is just $40 plus shipping for this women's Patagonia jacket. It was new with tags, but it did have this company logo on there. So the new with tags kind of helped the value. The company logo kind of lowered the value, kind of even out to just be a decent sale. Here we have some Affliction jeans with some classic, just chunky embroidered pockets. These were missing the button on the back, which is why they only sold for 40. Probably could have sold for a bit more if it had that. And speaking of the Patagonia Adzi, this was a men's vest, sold for 40 bucks plus shipping. This is just kind of like one of their soft shell fleece lined models. I usually leave a lot of these out, but Lululemon pants still sell for 40 to 50 bucks for me. So if I'm picking them up at a reasonable price, I do grab these still. Here we have a Filson Ridgeway fleece jacket. This is probably one of the not so great items from Filson you could find, but I am not going to complain about finding a Filson jacket, and it sold for 40 bucks. Here we have a New with Tags Polo Ralph Lauren Estate Rib sweater. Honestly, anything New with Tags Polo Ralph Lauren, I'm picking up and most likely grabbing. You can see the model name Estate Rib right there. This one also did have a flesh pony, which helps the sell-through rate a little bit and the value a little bit, in my opinion. Here we have another New with Tags Patagonia item. This was just a lightweight Fjord flannel shirt. To me, it honestly just felt like a normal button down, didn't feel like a flannel, but when I looked up the code right here, it told me that it was the lightweight Fjord flannel. Good size of 2XL and New with Tags made that a quick sale at 40 bucks. And here we have a vintage Pendleton shirt. This one's called the Lodge shirt. It's not one of the best models. The best models are the board shirts with the loop collar and the flat pockets. But this one's still decent, sold for 42 plus shipping. Here we have a Tommy Bahama shirt, New with Tags. This is another brand where when it's New with Tags, it just really elevates the sales price and eliminates a lot of the competition on eBay. So Brooks Brothers, Polo Ralph Lauren, Tommy Bahama, all those things that are kind of in that realm of high retail price but kind of saturated used markets, the new items still sell really well for me, so I'd look them up. Here we have a Columbia jacket. This one was called the Delta Ridge Quilted Puffer. This one had a little bit of damage to the logo, but this is one of the better models. When you see this 650 here inside the zipper on Columbia, you know that's a down model, and that's one of their better jackets. And also just this like unique quilting is something that's gonna stand out on eBay and sell much faster, much better. Here we have a vintage Woolrich vest. This thing just has that super classic look with the color blocking stripes. It's made in USA. I called it the blanket vest. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I just feel like that's when people say like blanket lining on like their Carhartt, that's kind of what this outside felt like. And it was wool, just a great quality piece. Here we have some vintage Polo Ralph Lauren cargo shorts. These had the hunting and fishing little patches on them. Here's the tag. Cotton nylon blend, which is great. If these weren't camo, I probably would pass on these, but with the patches and being camo, these were a nice little item. Banana Republic is another brand to throw into that, if it's new with tags, look it up category. These were the Traveler jeans, and they sold great. Good size of 32 by 34 as well. Here we have some J. Crew selvage denim. This is what selvage denim looks like. You have to look inside the leg to know that. The 770 model. These are what the tags looked like. J. Crew jeans is pretty much always a pass unless it has some sort of elevated thing to it, like Nuid tags or Japanese denim or something like that. But selvage is definitely one of the best things that can help your denim. Here we have a Scotch and Soda shacket. This is like a wool, really cool blanket, Aztec, Southwestern. This was just such a cool item, and I was honestly disappointed with how much it sold for. This is one of the oldest items in my inventory, believe it or not. This brand just sells super slow for me, or you have to price it way too cheap. I'm sure that the right buyer would pay like 150 bucks for this, but I just had this super long time. It kept getting marked down, marked down, marked down. Eventually it sold for 47 bucks, so I guess I'm not complaining. It's still a decent sale. But I would have thought this would be way better with all the cool features that it has. Here we have some North Face high vent snow pants. Once again, when you see high vent or dry vent, you're gonna wanna be looking into it a little bit more, looking it up. Okay, right up here, you can see where it says high vent. So when I saw that, I knew this was gonna be a pickup, and yeah, they sold really well. LL Bean, one of my favorite brands that comes alive in the fall and winter. With LL Bean, you guys know I preach this all the time. I go to Google, I type in LL Bean 516741. Let's just do that right now so you guys can see what I do. So I type that in, and you can see right here it says LL Bean Classic Puffer Hooded Jacket. So it says it right there, and then what you can do is you can go right to LL Bean's website. You can actually just see the exact jacket. You can see all the details, everything. Mountain Classic Puffer Hooded Jacket Color Block. You can come down here, you can see what the fabric is, you can see the features, and you can put all that stuff in your listing and make your listing way better. And that's how you can sell a very basic LL Bean jacket for 45 bucks plus shipping when all the other ones are selling for 30 bucks plus shipping. Here we have some Diesel jeans. These were the Troxer Slim Skinny, which I would think is not a good cut, not a good style right now, and they still sold super fast for 45 bucks plus shipping. So Diesel is pretty much an automatic pickup for me right now. Here we have some vintage LL Bean bean boots. These were the non-insulated ones. They make these that are shearling lined. These had no lining whatsoever. And surprisingly enough, there's less of these available, so they don't sell for more, but they do sell faster when they're unlined without the shearling. Back-to-back LL Beans. This one is a vintage wool flannel. This thing was like super scratchy, so I could tell that it was wool, but the size and material tag was cut. So what I did is I went to eBay, pulled up other shirts exactly like this and matched mine up to the size of the other ones. And then I put in the description that the size tag was ripped. This is what it measures compared to other similar shirts. And this old tag is from the 70s, so super cool. J. Crew. Honestly, this was just more of like a style-based purchase with the corduroy and the Sherpa lining. These chore jackets, shackets, corduroy, flat pockets, collared jackets, Sherpa lined, all those things are just really hot right now with the changing of the season. And I just kind of tried to strike while the iron was hot and get this thing sold quick while all those things were firing. And it's just a basic J. Crew item, but it sold really fast for me for a full price of $45 plus shipping. And pretty much same thing goes with this one. This is a Ralph Lauren jacket. This did have some condition issues, so I probably could have gotten a little bit more for it. But I just loved the style of this, like with these little extra pockets, kind of like a bomber style, but still kind of had some like chore utility elements. And this one was twill, which I actually just find to be like more interesting than canvas or corduroy right now, because you find these jackets in twill just a lot less often. And one good sign of quality is when there's an actual leather collar. So, you know, that could have been a selling point for this jacket as well. Just gonna say ditto on the new with tags Tommy Bahama. This one was an island zone. So even though it just looked like a pretty much a basic shirt, but because it was island zone, even on the secondhand market, we still got almost $50 for that. Here we have some Buckle BKE Jake jeans. These were new with tags, which is why they sold for so much. I would still be picking these up in used condition. This is kind of covering the tag, but it says BKE right there. I would still be picking these up in used condition, but you're not gonna get $45, but in new condition, you can. Here we have a Patagonia all free soft shell jacket. Same thing with LL Bean. I always find the style code that's right here, 83020. I typed that into Google and figured out this was the all free jacket. And that's how I was able to sell this for more than these basic jackets were selling for from other sellers. Here we have some vintage Nike track pants. The thing that made these ones stand out is they had cargo pockets. Cargo pockets are just very in style right now, and vintage Nike is in style. And also that the fact that they were unlined, so they didn't have any lining on the inside. All those things were things that helped the value, in my opinion, just based on knowing the kind of vintage market and what is in style right now. So I listed these super high and they sold. $47, $45 plus shipping for some basic track pants. Here we have some Hoka shoes. These are men's size 8, which honestly is not a great size in my opinion, a little bit too small to have a big market, but I was happy they sold fast for $48 plus shipping, which is what I listed them for. I picked these up cheap because they did look small. I think that's why the thrift store didn't price these ones up, but I'll take it. Here we have another pair of diesel jeans. You can see that little diesel stripe right there. And here's a picture of the tag. I think I mentioned this in last month's video, but these little lines here means that they're made in Italy. I don't know if that helps the value or not, but these ones sold great. All diesels are selling great for me. Here we have a Carhartt denim shacket. This is fleece lined on the inside, denim on the outside. It is new with tags. I picked this up at the same sale as those Doc Martens and that one Patagonia chinchilla. I paid, I think, $27 for this. So not huge margins, but did sell it fast for $54 plus shipping. And here we have another denim jacket. This one is a Levi Strauss, which is not a good line of Levi's. This is like, do not buy this stuff, but this is just what's in style right now. These like more chore style denim jackets. I wouldn't even really call this a chore style denim jacket, but it just had that like really thick feel with the Sherpa lining. So I took a shot on it and I was not disappointed. It's over $45 plus shipping. And here's another one right next to it, a Levi's chore jacket. This one does have more of a chore style pocket with the jersey hood. I don't know why that style is popular, because to me, brown and gray don't go together, but this style always sells really fast for me when it's Sherpa lined with the good keywords, heavy, field, chore, barn. You know, we got it sold. $45 plus shipping on that one as well. Here we have some Skechers shoes. These are Skechers slip-ins. I've noticed that those sell really fast and for better money than just regular Skechers shoes. So I do pick those up when I see them at a cheap cost. And these ones sold for $50 plus shipping. Got to give a shout out to my friend Surfs Up Finds. He always talks about Harris tweed. I had never heard of it and I had never found it, but when I saw this, something clicked inside my brain. I was like, oh, he said look up Harris tweed. I looked it up, even though this was from a no-name brand, because it was from Harris Tweed. This very basic blazer sold for $50 plus shipping, and it sold quick too. Here we have some Brooks running shoes. These have that really thick, chunky sole that's super popular with running shoes right now. I paid about $20 for these, so I did pay up a little bit, but I knew that they would sell super fast, and they sold for $50 plus shipping. Here we have another underrated little bolo. This is a zero restriction Gore-Tex golf pants. These sell super well for me when you combine that brand with Gore-Tex pants. This is what the tag on the inside looks like, and you can see it has this little Gore-Tex tag here. Just basic golf pants, but these ones were convertible, so they sold for even a little bit more, 51 bucks plus shipping. Here we have some Crocs boots. The model is called All Cast 2. I actually picked these up at the bins a super long time ago. I didn't want to clean these, so I was procrastinating it, and I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna list these things super dirty because I'm not cleaning them. I listed them dirty, and they still sold for 48 bucks plus shipping. Here we have another motorcycle jacket. This one did have the armor in it, and this one's from the brand Joe Rocket. On the sleeve here, it said Ballistic Series. I basically just tried to type in all this random information until eBay until I figured out what comps were. Got an offer for 50 bucks plus shipping and took it. This caught my eye at the thrift store just because it was unique. This is a military flight suit. What I did was just typed in different random things on here. I don't really know too much about military stuff, so I don't know what all these mean exactly, but I just tried to type in like different variations of these numbers and words here, and ended up figuring out that the comps were about 40 to 50 bucks. I listed mine high because all the other sizes were way smaller. This was 48L, and it sold for full price. Well, I listed it for 60, but it sold on an automatic 10% off offer. So, you know, basically full price for me, 54 bucks plus shipping. This is an excellent outdoor brand to be on the lookout for. The brand is Fjallraven. This was called the Ovik Fleece Jacket, I think. One nice thing about them is that they put the model name right on the tag. So Ovik Fleece Hoodie. But this thing was super cool. I actually found this and a Patagonia Better sweater on the same hanger turned inside out where the tags were like being hidden. So somebody was trying to find this on half off day when it made it there, but I found it first and paid full price at the thrift store and was able to flip it. Here we have a Peter Millar hoodie. This one is made of mostly merino wool, which definitely elevated the value. I typed in this code right here, MS22RK51, into Google to figure out it was the Crown Crafted Excursionist Flex hoodie. It's kind of a mouthful, but anyway, because of all those things, it sold for 60 bucks plus shipping. Here we have another Carhartt jacket. Actually, I think this one's older before they called it Storm Defender, but this would be like what a current Storm Defender is. But anyway, this is a waterproof Carhartt jacket. It's not canvas. It kind of has like that more nylon-y texture to it. But what I did to figure this out was I basically just came here to Carhartt J162, typed that in, and it told me that it was the Shoreline jacket, and then just went from there. That sold for 60 plus shipping. Here we have some Cole Haan shoes. These were not like authentic gator skin, but it had a gator skin style to it, and I didn't see anyone like this on eBay, so I listed these really high at like 100 bucks a long time ago and was just slowly decreasing the price. And they finally sold for 60 bucks plus shipping, so I'm not gonna complain because that's way more than I'd get for a normal pair of Cole Haan shoes. Okay, this is just a Lauren Ralph Lauren blazer in size 44 short, which is not a good size, but this has a plaid pattern to it, which in my opinion helps blazers sell way faster, especially in those kind of basic brands, but still well-known brands. It kind of helps you stand above the saturated brand when it has something unique about it, but that brand still gets a lot of search and has a lot of people looking for it. So it's kind of the perfect storm to get it sold quick. And for me, when I get any reasonable offer on a blazer, I just take it because they usually are such slow movers. So to sell that for full price of 60, I'm stoked. Here we have a Barber vest. Here's what the tag looks like. This thing was really nice, quilted, had the corduroy collar. Down inside the tag here, it usually has the model name on these, which is one thing I really like about this brand. So I typed in Bradford Gillet to eBay, and that's how I was able to comp it out. Ended up selling it for 60 bucks. Here we have an Eddie Bauer jacket. This one was new with tags and from the Weather Edge line, so that was like pretty much an automatic pickup as soon as I saw that. It also was a 3-in-1 jacket, which I talk about a lot on the channel as well, where the inside is a fleece liner that you can wear by itself, or you can wear the waterproof shell by itself, or you can wear it all together as one piece. That's why it's called a 3-in-1. And they just sell better than regular jackets because of the versatility. Orvis, I told you guys it comes alive in the winter. This one was called the Ultimate Foul Weather Shooting Sweater. Basically just stacked all those keywords because that's what I figured out the model name was. It sold for 63 plus shipping. How I figured that out was I went to this little tag here. I don't know if it was the 47071 or the 25FZ, but I basically just typed that into Google to try to figure out what the model name was. It's a really nice wool like sweater jacket. Here we have a vintage Levi's denim jacket. Size large, it's kind of like a gray acid wash. Nothing honestly too crazy about this. Sold for a lot more than I thought, to be honest. But yeah, anytime you're finding vintage 80s Levi's anything, made in USA, right here, 057. So this is made in 87. So yeah, it's old enough. It just had good value, 63 plus shipping. Another Orvis item. These are vintage alpaca wool blend. They called it the Wordley Wool Alpaca Wool, made in Canada. Lots of good things going for it. It is size 40, which was not good, but they sold fast for good money, so I'm happy. 70 bucks plus shipping on those. Here we have some Lululemon ABC pants. These ones sold for more because they were new at tags. I did pay up for those, but I knew they'd sell fast, 65 bucks. I'm so happy somebody bought this New York Giants Salute to Service hoodie before they realized that their football team was a complete disaster. Sold this for 65 plus shipping. Anytime you see these patches, camo, Salute to Service on that, on NFL licensed stuff that's not fake, that's gonna be some of the higher end stuff for those brands in the modern clothing. Cult of Individuality. These were some unique jeans for sure. They had all these different random distresses and articulations and zippers. Had some selvage up here on the coin pocket. Did I take a picture of the? I didn't even take a picture of the leg selvage. This is the Greaser Moto model. Not a good size of 44 by 34, so I'm really happy these sold 66 bucks plus shipping. This is a good brand to be on the lookout for, but their stuff is so unique. Some of it could be slower sellers just because it's a unique, item, brand, style, whatever. Here we have some Sims fishing pants. These were like pull-on pants that kind of like go over your regular pants that were waterproof. I couldn't find the model name. I couldn't find anything like this on eBay, so I kind of called my shot and listed them for 75 bucks plus shipping. Got an offer and just took it. I'm really totally fine with that. Here we have some Ultra shoes. These are the Lone Peak all-weather model. A really good model of Ultra shoes to be on the lookout for. These probably could have sold for a little bit more, but they had a super strong smell to them, which I disclosed in the listing. And so I listed mine cheaper knowing, people aren't gonna pay up a premium for something that has a really strong smell. Sold for 69 bucks plus shipping. Another chunky running shoe here from Brooks. These are the Hyperion Max. The colorway was called Blue Surf Cherry Nightlife. Very interesting colorway choice. But either way, these kind of stand out with the color and that chunky sole. Sold super fast, 70 bucks plus shipping. Save the Duck puffer jacket. I put chore in the title because it had like these, chore stitched on pockets. And yeah, it sold super fast. I couldn't find this model anywhere online, so I'm hoping I didn't undersell it because it sold in like a day for full price. But like I said, I couldn't find this exact model. I don't know what it's called, but I figured it would be good because it was full zip and button up and had the chore pockets. This is what the tag looks like. It's a pretty decent brand. I wouldn't expect to get this much. I did list it really high. And right here you can see it's the ultralight jacket, and I put Plum Tech in the title. Polo Ralph Lauren, the brand that keeps on giving. This was a cotton linen blend unstructured blazer, size 42. Nice little old tag there. Just a cool little item, sold for 72 plus shipping. Vintage Polo Ralph Lauren is good. New at tags Levi's, nothing really to say here. These are elevated in price because they sold international, but really any new at tags Levi's, I'm picking those up at a typical thrift price, listing for 40 and taking 30 to 40. Here we have a vintage Green Bay Packers jacket. I think this was like maybe somebody that just like made their own jacket, but it was super old, made in USA, big size 4X. This is Bob's jacket. Either way, really cool. It was in like perfect condition, which really helped. Sold for 72 plus shipping. Here's a little bolo for you guys. The New Balance Core hoodie. I was shocked when I saw this. When I saw this on the rack, I saw New Balance made in USA and some like little sirens started going off. So I started investigating more. Turns out this is like a very desired item. Crazy sell-through rate. This sold in 1 day for me for really good money. 75 bucks plus shipping. Probably could sell it for even more if you wanted to wait on it, maybe like 100 bucks. But you know, you guys know I'm into selling those items quick. Here's what I was talking about with the Pendleton shirts. This is what you're really looking for when it has the loop collar and the flap pockets. That means that this is a board shirt. These are the best Pendleton. I don't know if they're the best, but they're really good Pendleton shirts you can find. I listed this one high because of the nice colorway. I think for like 100 or maybe 110. Got an offer for 80 and just accepted it. But they are returning it, so you know, maybe I'll try to sell it for more and make that money back. Here we have some Flux Adapt runners, black and gum sole. I honestly don't know too much about this. I just saw this, they looked unique, so I looked them up, and there was a crazy sell-through rate on them, and there was only like one person really selling them on eBay. So I was like, hey, this is a good opportunity to sell above market price. And yeah, they sold pretty quick for $77 plus shipping. Here we have a Howler Brothers Gaucho shirt. I think this was in last month's episode as well. You can see right here, it says Gaucho Snap Shirt, and the size tag is up there. What makes these special are these little embroideries right here. If you have a rare embroidery, these could go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I actually got these new from a call out, same you know, Discord group that I mentioned before, Bread and Butter. They called out an online sale at a website. I went to that website and was scouring the website for a deal. I found these for, I think, $42 a piece, shipped to my door. I got 4 of them, and I've been selling them for anywhere from $80 to $110 plus shipping. Here we have another pair of new shoes, Nike React Pegasus Trail 5. I picked these up at that same Dick's Warehouse sale as some of the other retail arbitrage finds in this video. I think these were marked at $59, so I paid $30 and then sold for $76 plus the eBay shipping. Hiroshi Kato jeans, another salvage denim brand. If you see this, buy it. This is an excellent brand. These are like pretty worn out in the knees. They still sold super fast. This is what the tag looks like. I just think that is the coolest tag. Just a super cool tag. 80 bucks plus shipping, even in that condition. Here's one I wasn't too sure about. I saw this at the thrift store and I picked it up because it was a shacket, which shackets are in style, and it was new with tags. And then when I looked it up, it ended up being a really good item. So I'd be kind of curious to know if I found this in used condition, if this would be a good flip. But this is from the brand O'Neill, kind of has this like thermal waffle knit, and it's fleece lined. Sold for $50 plus shipping. Here we have another North Face jacket. This one is from the Windwall line. Not necessarily as good as High Vent or Dry Vent, but this one just felt super high quality. I used Google Lens to figure out this was the Apex Elevation jacket. Once I put that into eBay, the comps went way up. So knowing what you have is really the secret to sometimes selling your item for good money. Sold for 80 bucks plus shipping. Another $80 sale here with this Oakley software tag. This is something definitely to be on the lookout for. If you find a full down jacket with this tag, you could be looking for, you could be looking at a couple $100 sale. Excellent little item here. This thing was in really nice condition, which was really cool. Vintage, this tag, down puffer, Y2K, very cool. 80 bucks plus shipping. Here we have another North Face from the High Vent line this time. This was a 3-in-1 jacket. So just like I was saying on that Eddie Bauer jacket, you can wear the liner, you can wear the shell, or you can wear it all together. Those are some of the most valuable jackets that you can find from any brand. So North Face has a lot of expensive jackets. This is a High Vent, which is you know, one of their elevated lines, and it's a 3-in-1. So I'm basically just trying to stack those valuable things on top of each other to create a really valuable item on eBay, and it worked. It sold for 90 bucks plus shipping. Here we have a Helly Hansen jacket. It sold for, let's see, 85 bucks plus shipping. Helly Hansen, I really only pick it up if it is Helitech and seems like a very modern style. This had a lot of really cool pockets on it, and it had this like H2 flow, blah, 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 waterproof. It's got the Reco thing that I mentioned before. Kind of just checked a lot of boxes to look into it. And once I look into it, I realized it was going to be a pretty valuable jacket. Here we have another jacket from Triumph Motorcycles. This one had the armor and padding in the arms and the sleeves and the shoulder and the back and all that stuff. Triumph is a really strong motorcycle brand, plus the armored jacket. I knew this would be a great item, and it was. Sold for $93 plus shipping. Here we have a Patagonia Cinchilla. This was a women's extra small, but because it had this little string here, this is what the tag would have been on if it still had the tags. And this one thing was in brand new condition. I listed it as new without tags. I was able to sell it for $100. If you find these Cinchilla pieces with any sort of print on it, anything that's not basic, you can get way more money. And some of the prints can go for hundreds and hundreds. I'm guessing there's some maybe even thousands of dollars. So definitely look into the print that you have before selling a Patagonia Cinchilla. Okay, here we have another one of those raccoons. This one I sold on eBay. I sold it for 98 bucks plus $15 shipping. And once again, just slapped a label right on the box, paid under 30 for that. Here we go with the chunky running shoe. This one is from New Balance. This was the Fuel Cell Rebel V4. Colorway is Spice Blue Limelight. Yeah, and if you see these chunky running shoes, just please look them up. This one was in new condition, so I was able to sell new without box for $100. Another $100 sale with this vintage Abercrombie jacket. Look at this really cool like vintage tag, how it's all like faded out. The outside was wool flannel and the inside was like acrylic Sherpa. Just really cool piece in my opinion. Had this cool little vintage patch on it. Keyworded it up with wool, Sherpa, fur line, chore, shacket, all that good stuff. Got it sold for $100. Another $100 sale here with these Asterflex Bitflex Chelsea boots. When I saw these, they just looked and felt super high quality. So I looked up this name here, especially once I saw made in Italy. This is a brand that's actually sold on Huckberry. So once I Googled it, saw it was on Huckberry, I'm like, these things are good, I know it. I paid up 30 bucks for these, but I listed them high, so I thought, and they still sold fast at 99 bucks. Here is another Big Lots sale. Paid under 30 for this one as well, and sold it for $100 plus $15 shipping. So once again, these came pre-boxed. You can see this is the box. This is me in front of my storage unit, just taking pictures right there. And then I just slap a label right on there. Another Obermeyer ski jacket, same as before. You're just looking for the little details on the modern ones from this brand. Fusion series, Reco. Does it say anything about waterproof or anything? Yeah. So we got lightweight, thermal, 20 something waterproof, you know, all these cool little features. Sold for $109 plus shipping. This one really shocked me. This is a Under Armour jacket, sold for $105 plus shipping. It was camo. It was from the Storm line. It had lots of cool pockets on it. Storm Proof line. I'm guessing that's even better. It also is cold gear and has this lining in it. Vented on the sides, just lots of really good features. You know, somebody that skis or snowboards is gonna see all these features. It also looks really cool. I put Tiger Stripe in the title because it just kind of has that kind of camo vibe to it. And yeah, I got a really nice sale on that one, $105 plus shipping. I paid $50 for this at the thrift store. This is a Patagonia Nano Puff puffer jacket. Men's size large. I really grabbed it because this color was just unique. I didn't see any listed or sold in this color on eBay. And the comps are kind of anywhere from that like $80 to $100 range for this jacket. But I thought, hey, if I have the only one of this color, I can kind of name my price. I listed at $130, I think, and got an offer for $109, 50 into $109. Not the craziest ROI or margins, but still a really good profit on just that one sale, and it sold in a day. Here we have one of my favorite finds I've ever found, a vintage RRL loop collar wool flannel, made in USA, 100% wool, RRL. This thing is just like super cool. Unfortunately, it had stains all over it, like bad stains. But because it was just that cool of an item, I listed it high and still got it sold for about $100 plus shipping. So really happy with that. Okay, here we're gonna have some, online arbitrage sales coming up here. I sold a few of these Lightning McQueen Christmas inflatables. Once again, these are pre-boxed. I don't like shipping stuff like this, but if it's pre-boxed, I will do it because I can just slap the label right on the box. I paid $68, I believe, for 3 of these. I sold the first one for $115. One of the tricks for selling multi-quantity items is to get a couple sales rolling so your listing will move up to the top of search when people are looking for those items, because eBay's like, oh, this person has a good item because people are buying it. So I accepted that first offer of $115 to get the ball rolling. Then I got another offer of $125. I accepted again to get the ball rolling. And then you'll see up here, because I only had one left, I raised the price all the way up to $160 and it sold full price. So I probably could have gotten a lot more for those first 2, but I'm still happy. I paid $180 total, and what does that equal in sales? $115 plus $125 plus $160. Plus I charged $15 shipping on all of those, and it was a pretty small, tight package. So yeah, if you look at the 3 items combined that I bought, definitely was an excellent little flip there. Same thing with these Grinch animatronics. This is another thing I got from Big Lots. By stacking coupon codes, I got these all the way down to $39. I sold the first one for $125 and the second one for $144. Both of those were plus $15 shipping. And once again, it came pre-boxed and was able to just slap a label on the box and get those shipped out. So if you combine those as one flip, that's one heck of a flip there as well. Here we have some Timberland Pro Wedge boots. I picked these up at a Kohl's sale for, I think, $30. Sold for $100 plus shipping. Here we have a Dolce & Gabbana suit, men's size 52, which is actually Italian size. So in US, that's size 42. This was the tag. I actually got this from somebody on Instagram who was wholesaling out a lot of their menswear, designer menswear, items not as good as this. This was the best item, but similar to this. Stuff they didn't really know about. They didn't want to mess with it, authenticating it, stuff like that. So I picked that up in a bulk deal, and this item sold for $150, which definitely helped me get back some of those funds quickly. Here is a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren leather jacket. This is a bolo, guys. If you don't know, now you do. Vintage Polo Ralph Lauren denim jackets can sell for excellent money. This had scuffs on it. It had a snag in the leather. It was missing a couple buttons. It had a gouge there. Honestly, not good condition. But somebody offered me $130 and they were an international buyer. And the great thing, kind of like Poshmark, if it's an international buyer, they can't return the item. So even though I probably could have gotten more, even in this rough condition, I was happy to sell it to somewhere where I wasn't gonna have to worry about a return. And also, when you are selling things that have condition problems, sometimes it's better to just get those things moving instead of holding on to them. If it was in perfect condition, I would have listed high and held out for way more money, but I'm definitely not complaining. I paid 25% off of $45 for that. So a little over $30 into $130. So no complaints. Here we have a Sims fishing jacket. This was new at tags. Right here you can see it says that it's the Challenger jacket and it has all the features right in here. So I just basically put all that information into the listing. I got this at that same Dick's Warehouse sale. I paid $60 for this jacket and got it sold for $165 plus shipping in just one day. And same time I found those other New Balance shoes for $30. I found these for $30 as well. And these are an even better model. These are the Fuel Cell Super Comp Elite V4. That's a huge mouthful, but when you see the chunky running shoes, please, please, please just look them up. If you're a clothing reseller, just look up the chunky running shoes if you see them, because I don't want you leaving $170 on the shelf here. And both of those New Balances sold in less than a couple days from being listed. And then I guess my best flip of the month was another Big Lots Christmas decoration. I got these for $44 a piece. This is like a little light up sculpture. This is the box. These ones I did put into a second box because this box was not like a nice box. It was like more of like a display box. But either way, 44 bucks a piece into $200 a piece plus $15 shipping on each of those. So definitely good margins considering it was online arbitrage. All I had to do was drive over to Big Lots and pick them up from the store. They already had them pulled and sitting up front for me, put them in my car, drive to my storage unit, take a couple pictures, and ship them out. So that was a lot of sales. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know in the comments down below by leaving a cowboy hat emoji in your comment. I want to see how many of you actually made it to the end of this video and saw every banger sale from the month of November. I hope this helps you find more valuable items in your reselling journey. That's the whole goal of making this video. And I was really happy with all the excellent items I was able to sell to keep my average sale price high and my profits high and my gross sales high as we head into the final month of the year. I'm looking forward to some more video ideas that I have coming up in the near future, but until then, we will see you next time. Take care.